Um, there we go. Okay, well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. So we were gonna try to have a live component on Facebook to this, but I am new to the Facebook launching world, so I haven't figured that out. But welcome to the Break Your Sugar Addiction webinar. I mean, we are addicted to sugar as Americans. If you are American, if you were born in America, if you live in America, even if you weren't born in America, the American diet is full of sugar. Don't we know it, right? So, I mean, everything. There's sugar in everything. There's salt in everything, and we're adding additives into our foods. If you just think about all the processed foods, right? This leads to obesity, and it's an issue. Obesity can give you heart problems, it can give you diabetes, it can, any other, I'm not a doctor, so I can't rattle off everything that happens when you don't take care of your body, but, eating healthy, right? Like, we got to eat healthy, right? And sugar can be just as addictive as drugs. Sugar can be a coping mechanism, just like drug is a coping mechanism. Um, and yeah, I will talk about that more in here. I will also give tips. And then two, I have my free ebook as well that kind of complements this. So I'll give that to you so that you have um, a reference to come back to, and free recipes. Who doesn't love free recipes, right? I'm on here telling you how easy it is to eat healthy, but who am I? Right? Right? Who am I to be telling you? And if I would have planned it better, I'd have shown some before pictures. But I'm Brianna. I lost 52 pounds. I've kept it off for 15 years. During that time, I found yoga. So now I am a certified yoga teacher. I am also a certified health coach. In that time of me losing the weight, keeping it off, having a baby, I worked at Jenny Craig, and I really, really loved working with my clients to help them lose weight. So that got me started in the weight loss industry, health industry. And so, yeah, I used to be addicted to sugar. I used to be depressed and lost about my purpose in life. And then, something changed, and I was like, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I changed how I was eating because I realized I was depressed and the way that I was eating wasn't helping. And I was able to lose 30 pounds in 3 months. I went from April to July. That was my 26th birthday was July. And then after that, I lost the other 20 pounds doing hot yoga. I am now 41. So from 26 to 41, I have kept it off. I've had a baby, built a business, all while eating healthy and maintaining a healthy weight with daily exercise as well. And I don't feel like I am anybody special. Like, yes, I know I am special, just like we all are, but I don't think like I have the magic key that no one has, like, and I want to make it that easy, right? Like, it's really not that hard. And I just want to empower you to be able to take back who you are and yourself and what you're putting in your body. If you're into church, right? They say godliness is next to holiness. I'm missing. What I'm trying to say is like your body is your temple. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, look at your body as your temple, and as such, you need to fill it with things that your body needs, right? Like, your body does not need cake, doesn't need donuts, doesn't need coffee all the time, and I'm human, so everything in moderation. Sometimes I have too much coffee. But yeah, so I'm here to be your cheerleader. Whether you're going through anxiety, depression, whether you feel overworked, underappreciated, whether you're a mom, whether you're a caretaker, if you just want to feel good about yourself and your body and you need help with that, I am your girl. So let's get back into this webinar. So, like what you eat, right? Your brain is going to process what you're eating. So sugar can cause your brain to have a large release of dopamine, which are the things like those happy feelings, right? That everybody's trying to get at. And so, it works as regulators in your brain and large amounts are released. These regulators are dulled. So it could take more sugar, right? Again, if you have other substances, right, like alcohol or drugs that you are using to cope, right, again, because you can use food to cope, it's going to hit those receptors in the brain that get that dopamine hit, but then, right, like your brain's going to get used to that, so then you need more of it to get that happy feeling, and it's just not healthy for you. You can't sustain that, and it'll give you false energy, right? You feel like you have energy because you're getting that spike of like those endorphins. Um, it's a small boost, right? So if you're hungry, you grab a candy bar. Yeah, it'll give you energy right away, but that energy, the way that the body is processing it is it doesn't really get to where it needs to go, right? Like sugar is not going to give your brain the energy it needs to sustain, work after lunch when we know we feel like we're having a crash, right? You know, leaving you tired, having a migraine or lightheadedness. um, Another thing too that I just want to throw out there, like too many people are dehydrated. Drink your water, guys. That's another thing. If you have a headache, think of the water consumption that day, especially if it's, the summertime or if you live in hot climates. Water, 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 water. Sugar can also cause overstimulation, right? If you think about kids and sugar, right? We joke as parents, like, the anybody who doesn't have kids or the grandparents will like give the kids sugar, hop them up on sugar, give it back to their parents, and they're bouncing off the walls. And yes, it is a joke and it's funny, but it's also true. Like these kids don't need to be bouncing off the walls, right? You get jumpy, you get anxious. Again, you get like this spurt of energy, but then you get the crash. The same, it's the same thing with an adult brain. You may not be eating as much candy as a kid. You're not going to have as much energy again too, because they have a higher metabolism. So I do want to throw in there too, anybody who is a parent, anybody who is taking care of kids or elderly too, right? Where you need to meal plan, you gotta like cut out the sugar. You gotta have those fruits, vegetables, um, excuse me, starch, a little bit, but like fruits, vegetables, protein, and a small amount of protein, right? You want to think about your hand, and everything that you're doing. Again, it doesn't have to be hard. Small, what's the word I'm looking for? When you're eating small meals, right? You want small meals. You don't want a big meal because there is um, a chemical from the brain to the stomach, right? Or from the stomach to the brain, right? Brain tells the stomach, I'm hungry, right? So then that's when you eat. And if you're not eating mindfully and you just really inhale your food, your stomach doesn't give your brain enough time to go, hey, I'm full. And that's when you get, stomach ache or, other things. So again, watching how you're eating, being mindful, in whatever you're eating, right? So the dangers of being addicted to sugar. Again, sugar, sugar, sugar. We love sugar. Sugar makes everything taste good, but as we're seeing, it does not help the body in the long run. Um, and you think that the only side effect is obesity. But there are others, to consider, like migraines, right? Again, like your brain is not getting what it needs. So it's these energy bursts, and these regulators get dulled over time. And, no one wants a headache. And migraines happen to be the worst of them, right? So eating a lot of sugar will give you migraines. So if you have a migraine, think about that, right? What are you putting in your body? Hypertension, right? This refers to the increased amount of high blood pressure in the system. Can cause strokes, heart attacks, right? So you gotta, like sugary drinks too. If anybody thinks about your liquid calories, some people don't think about liquid calories, right? Um, if it were up to me, there would be nothing else but water and coffee in the whole entire world because no one needs alcohol. No one needs soda. No one needs, and fruit juice. Love fruit juice. But like, since we're not in a world like that, you gotta everything in moderation, right? If you're drinking soda, you want to cut down and then eventually cut out. Because one thing you really need to do is read the ingredients on everything. Read the ingredients. Know what you're putting in your body. Be an informed consumer. Also, metabolic issues, right? So, weight problems if you're eating sugar all the time. And sugar doesn't even have to be cookies, it could be pancakes. It could be oatmeal with sugar, right? You think you're eating a healthy breakfast, you're eating sugary oatmeal instead of steel cut or bran. You're having cereal with sugar on it. So again, like everything, read the ingredients. Sugar is in everything. Even natural sugar, right? Like natural sugar is better than processed sugar, right? Like the aspartame and all the fake sweeteners that don't have any calories but have worse health effects than regular sugar, but you still don't want to do a lot of sugar either. The dangers of being addicted to sugars, right? And we're thinking about where the sugars are. They're in coffee drinks. All my Starbucks drinkers out there, right? One of my tips for going to Starbucks is if you're going to get a latte, get the small one. You don't need all that milk. Another tip I would give is switching from cow's milk to nut milk, but you can't do everything in one take, right? Like Rome wasn't built in a day. So my little tip, right? Get the small coffee drinks, right? Try not to get the pumps. There's the sugar right there. You're getting a venti, upside down latte with 8 pumps of sugar. And there's sugar in the milk too. And, even nut milk has sugar, but it's better than the sugar that comes out of the cow's milk. But sugar, 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 pre-made juices, right? Even the healthy juices, the 100% juices, you still don't need all that natural sugar because when you do break down the fruit, right, you take out that fiber. And so anybody who's got diabetes, like the sugar in the juices is not good for you, right? Or if you're eating, like if you want that sweet peach or whatever, like get the whole peach, right? Get the whole apple, get the whole pineapple, cut it up, watermelon, like whole foods, right? Being in their whole state are better. Frozen dinners, need I say more? The most unhealthy and processed stuff. And I used to work for a place that sold frozen food and I had to sell frozen food to make quota. Like you do not need frozen food to lose weight. Okay? Right? You don't it's not hard. It's not hard. I'm just saying like watch what you're eating. Any of the prepared food is going to have high amounts of salt, high amounts of sugar, high amounts of additives, right? And then again the pre-made health drinks. And that's again like um even a smoothie, right, is good for some people and not others. Again, if you have diabetes, that smoothie doesn't have the fiber, so the sugar is just going to be so much higher. You don't need that. Eat the fruit, right? Don't have the drink, don't have the smoothie. So stages of quitting sugar, because Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't run a marathon in a week. So removing the known sugars. So take out a piece of paper, take out your notes app on your phone, Write down all the sugars, the known sugars that you can think of, right? Real or artificial. Are you having those sugary drinks at Starbucks? Right? How can we modify those? You know, having less milk, not getting those 6 pumps, maybe getting 3 pumps, you know, like weaning it back. Soda, you don't need soda. Gatorade, you don't need Gatorade. Like all this electrolyte stuff like water. Again, and please don't judge me for the plastic bottle. I have a large family, so we're just trying to survive over here. But water, your eyeballs need water. Your skin cells need water. Your heart needs water. You're like everything, even your lungs need water. Everything needs water, right? Or what it get right? Like the water will process and it may not get to your lungs as water. It may get to your lungs as a CO2, right? So removing those known sugars, right? And then also looking at what you eat if you can't find the sugars. I have an app. I'll have to share it with you guys. It's called Yuka, Yuka. Let me see if I can pull it up. But basically, you scan your food. Let me see if you can see this. Okay, you can't see it. But it's got a carrot, Yuka, Yuka. It's a free app. And you scan anything that has a barcode, right? And it can tell you what's in it, if there's harmful additives. So then that way you can be an informed consumer. All right. So after removing the sugars, and again, like once a day, right? If you have 5 sodas a day, maybe cut it down one, you know, so you get down there. I'm not expecting you to throw out everything today. Although if you see me in person, I might have that day where I'm like, let's just throw it out all out because you don't need it. You know, I'm human and I can't say I don't backslide, but I do make sure that I don't have those things in my house at all times because I know I'll backslide, right? If I have the soda, the cookies, the cake. For me, it's milk chocolate. Best thing invented, but very detrimental on your health. So detoxifying, right? So water, again, I cannot stress enough, water will help you detoxify. Um, you know, eating a clean diet will help you detoxify. So clean, meaning fruits and vegetables, right? Your protein, but in smaller consumption. Um, but really the detoxifying is like the fruits and the vegetables help move that along. I would say if you are going to do protein at that time, I would do vegan protein. So like a vegetable, soy, and there's different thoughts on soy. If you're an older woman, soy is okay. If you're a younger woman, you kind of want to stay away from soy because you don't want to mess up, you know, the natural estrogen in your body. When you're older, you lose that estrogen. So any of my people who are, you know, like premenopausal, menopausal, eating estrogen is good. If you have had a procedure, like breast cancer, or any procedures, right, cancer, and anything that your doctor tells you not to eat soy, then obviously you don't eat that either. But as far as the detoxifying process, right, like eating those clean foods, those whole foods, the vitamins, right, so you can kind of clean out your system. Um, and I know that sometimes you can, when you are detoxifying, you could get headaches, right? Because your body is so used to putting that sugar in your body, you know? So a few ways, right, is like maybe sniffing some essential oils, um, you know, meditation, um, and even my next slide, getting through the tips, right? You know, because you're going to have a sweet tooth. I still have a sweet tooth. I just don't give into those cravings as often as I used to, right? Like we're human. We're going to have all those emotions too. Anger. I hate getting angry, but you know, I'm a human. So you want to have an alternative. Oh my goodness, sweet things out there that are natural. Fruit. And I cannot say it enough. Fruit is sweet. But again, if you're diabetic, limit your fruit juice consumption consumption, excuse me, and also as a diabetic, eating fruit with protein too. So if you have like fruit and a cheese stick, it just helps your body process the sugars better when you have that protein mixed with that. So yeah, have an alternative. There's healthy snacks out there. I'm a fan of Made Good. I get that at Target. I know you can get it at CVS, where they've got granola bites. So you can still get that like sugar, but it's like, sugar from the fruit. It's not too much added sugar, or there's like fig bars. Um, but then too, right, you gotta also watch your consumption of processed foods, because that fig bar, even though it's not as bad as a chocolate bar, it's still processed, right? Smelling food instead of tasting it. This is really good. If you've already eaten, because sometimes we can overeat if we're at a party and we want to try everything. It's really easy to overeat. And so smelling something, obviously not touching it so that, it's there for someone else's consumption, but like getting close enough to like take a whiff, because then your receptors in the brain that want that food that your stomach doesn't need because you're already full, or like, I don't need that cookie, I'm just gonna smell it and then move on to the the carrot sticks. Um, and then drinking infused water. Again, I said water, and infused water is going to be any fruit that you put in the water, right? Something natural. So you can make lime juice, you can make lemon juice. I've been at events where they have like carafes of water and there's fruit just in there, like it looks like a little fruit salad, in a water bowl. And you taste that. And, if you don't like the taste of water, that's good. Don't buy any of these drops or anything, powders. Again, read what's in them, but this is the easiest and most clean way to get like flavor in your water, right? So water is more tolerable. Um and so you're going to have to bear with me. I am a working mom. So I did not finish the next slide. But what have we learned today, guys? We have learned that sugar can be just as addictive as drugs. We've learned that you can use sugar as a coping mechanism. We've learned that sugar is in everything. We have learned that we need to be informed consumers who knows what we're putting in our body, because we only have one body, right? I know no one's saying this anymore, but YOLO, right? If we say you only live once, like, I don't want you to jump a skydive because, you only live once. It's like, no, eat healthy because you only live once. You exercise. We didn't even get into exercise, because that you have to do on a daily basis, right? Like, some tips I have for exercise is when you're going grocery shopping, right, or running your errands, when you park farther away. Now, I've got a few reasons why, right? The first reason is gratitude, right? If you are able to put in a little bit more miles on your legs, right? If you are more able to walk, then I am so grateful that I have this gift that I can walk, and I can walk easily, right? With ease. I'm going to park back so that somebody who needs a closer space can have it. And then you also trick your brain into going, I can get more steps, because everybody's trying to get those steps in. Um, I had a lovely retired client at Jenny Craig, I remember. And I would only see her for maintenance because she had lost her weight. She would just come in once a month and check in with me. And her thing was she would go wherever she would go shopping. And sometimes she would go to Home Depot, to go shopping. But wherever she went shopping, she would walk the aisles first, right? You walk back, up and back. And then she would go shopping, right? And she's retired. So she had the time to walk up the aisle. So again, like, if you're retired or you're in that stage where you're not, working and having young kids, like you can spend a little bit more time at the grocery store if you want to get your walks in, or at Target if you want to get your walks in. So yeah, finding little things. Any of my young mothers, parents out there, strap the baby to you. When I had my daughter, I was a single mom. I used to have my stroller or her stroller in the car all the time. So whenever I felt the urge to walk, when she was like little and she was sleeping, if I didn't want to strap her, I'd put her in her stroller and boom, we go walking. Right? Like I live in Milwaukee, right on Lake Michigan, and Lake Michigan is my favorite place to go to zen out. And at that time I had her, had that luxury of having like a shift in the morning, and then I had like kind of this lunch break and a shift at night. I was a single mother working two jobs though, without healthcare or on Badger Care or whatever. But like I was lucky enough to be able to take my baby to my first job. And then I would walk along the lakefront. We get food. I'd get my steps in. She'd get her nap in. I'd get my, ambiance from the lakefront. And we're good, right? Because a happy mama is a healthy mama. Happy mama has happy kids. Not saying you're going to be happy all the time, but just knowing how over committed you can be with even just one kid, but of course multiple kids. It's like, you've got those other people in your family. If you're caretaking, and everybody needs you, you cannot fill from an empty cup. And then as far as food, right, like those tips, eating whole foods, fruits, vegetables. If you're going to eat something processed, try to do something a little healthier, right? Like a fig bar, pretzels, popcorn without the butter, without the salt, just like the popcorn. And don't get the microwave popcorn either. I mean, I've always been leery of using the microwaves for everything. But popcorn's a good healthy snack. Chips, if you splurge on the 100-calorie packs, chips, and again, looking at the ingredients of which chips you're getting, right? You want the baked ones. Sun chips are always a good one. But then too, if you do make a mistake, if you backslide, like give yourself grace. Rome was not built in a day. You cannot cut sugar cravings in one day, in 1 week, in 1 month. I'm 15 years on this, health journey, and I still have my moments where I want sugar. But I built a healthy foundation so that, yes, I can have my sugar craving and the rest of my week is healthy, and I've just seen, I mean, I'm going to get real with you guys. I've just seen too many people in my family die too young. And I want to live. And I want to live through them too, the ones that aren't here. But like, I've seen them die because of the unhealthy choices they're making with their body. So I have decided to be healthy with my body so that I can live to see my grandkids, great grandkids, great great grandkids. We just celebrated my grandmother's 88th birthday yesterday. Like I want to get, to that. She's got all great grand, great grand, great, 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 great. Like I want to be that crazy yoga lady doing a crow in the park. I can't even do crow. That's a handstand. I'm not even there yet, and I've still been practicing for 15 years. Again, like everything in moderation. Just because I've been doing yoga so long doesn't mean I'm gonna get all the peak poses. But I digress. So what happens now, right? Like I hope that for the last 30 minutes I've been able to give you tips that you can take from here. Right? Ease and knowing that it's so easy. It's so easy to eat healthy, guys. Please, like I want you to know that you can do this. And if you want help, I'm your girl. So in 2 weeks, on Monday, October 7th, I am running a Fall Fit Challenge. So it's a 30-day challenge. You get 4 weeks, count it, 4 weeks of suggested meals with the no hassle recipe guide. You get weekly Zoom check-ins with me with Q&A, daily email support, shopping list, food diary, And you get a community of people who are trying to lose weight and eat healthy. I also forgot to tell you that it comes with 30 days of workouts. Forgot to put that in my PowerPoint. So 30 days of workouts, 30 days of suggested meals, me for 30 days to help you achieve those goals. And I mean, in 30 days, you can lose 5 pounds, right? If you like, I can't guarantee anything, but I've seen it, right? If you're able to eat healthier, you can lose a pound a week. Even a half a pound is good than nothing. Is better than nothing, right? But if you commit to working out and eating healthy in a month, you could be down a pound a week. That could be 4 pounds. And even 1 pound lost is 3 pounds of pressure off your joints. So if you're having knee issues, hip issues, if you lose the weight, that's times 3 of the pressure that's lifted off of your joints. So you can only do right. You can only do good things when you exercise. And two, again, I keep saying Rome wasn't built in a day, but you can't run a marathon tomorrow. So you know, if you join the challenge and you can't do the workouts, then just walk. Just commit to walking for 15 minutes for the next 30 days. So join me in the challenge right now. We have just launched it, so it's $57. I mean, uh, to have me for 4 weeks for $57, I feel like is a steal. So you can join the challenge, or I've got my private one-on-one coaching, whether it be health coaching, right? Again, I'm helping you lose weight the healthy way. It could be private yoga classes. I do group yoga classes, public classes. You got my website on here, briannawarner.com, as where everything is happening. So you can see where I'm doing public classes. Actually, if anybody is in the area, I do have a class next. What is today? This Sunday, I have a yoga class. So if anybody's in the Milwaukee area, today is September 25th. So on the 29th, I do have a yoga class. So again, check the website for the yoga classes. Check the website to book a one-on-one coaching call with me. I've got free discovery calls, guys. So if you really liked what you saw, but you have more questions, hit me up, please. Get on my email list, email me, info@briannawarner.com, or just go on my website. You can connect with me there. But I really want to help you guys out. And if you don't end up going with me, that's fine. Like, I just want you to take what you've learned today and know that you can start a health journey. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm not the only one. You know, when I started my health journey, I actually had a roommate who had lost 100 pounds. So she got the fire going under my belt. I was like, wait a minute. If she can do that, I know I don't have 100 pounds to lose. I can do that, you know? And I always, like, she's part of my story. Like, I always remember going, oh my God, the first time I met you, you were this big, you know. Then I reintroduced myself to her. We had just weren't, you know, on the same coast. And she was like literally had lost half a person. I was like, what did you do? You know, and so we ended up living together and we encouraged each other, you know. So again, that too, like, you don't have to do this alone. We're not in a bubble. So again, join me for the challenge in 2 weeks. You can go on my website and sign up. $57. It will go up in a week. I'm doing another one of these, talking about clean eating next week. So if you don't buy by this week, it'll be up to $79 next week. So go ahead and sign up for that Fall Fit Challenge, 30 days, 30 days of accountability, or check in with me wherever I'm teaching, book me for a private session. But thank you so much for joining me today. Again, any questions, email me. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.